All right, so we got about 10% left of this to go back together. So let's just slam it together real quick. There, that should hold 80 PSI. So now the cold side's done. Next, we're gonna do some wiring to put different injectors in. It'll be fun.
Hi guys, just got back from China.
Alright, so as you can see, these two injectors have different plugs, and that's nothing to do with how the injector works, it's just a different plug. So, since we have two different plugs, there's two different connectors. So this is a connector I cut out of the factory harness from this truck, and this is the plug we're going to be installing. I just cut these off of a fuel rail we had sitting at work that went in the garbage the other day, and this is the correct plug for that injector. So we're going to put them on, and then we're one step closer to firing the truck up. So as you can tell, wiring's a long, fun process. So we'll see you guys when we're done. So now all the injectors are in the rails, and we can pop it on and plug her in. All right, so it's time to head over to the hoist to do some stuff underneath there. So we'll meet you over there. Yeah. That door closes pretty nice. So, this here is where our oil feed's gonna be. Right here. And the return's gonna be on this side somewhere, I think. Because it's gotta be all gravity. So probably somewhere right here. But we gotta drop that oil pan out first. So let's do it. All right, so we're gonna start with the oil feed line. So if you look up here very closely, do you have a light? This little guy right here comes off with these two 10 mils. On some trucks, this is used as an oil cooler attachment, and you can drill the top out. So we're gonna take it off. And you can see it's on there super tight. Ah! It almost got me. Why is it still leaking? Alright, see all these goodies we got from On3 Performance for the oil feed line. Got the line. Got the fitting for the top of the turbine. We got a 90-degree to go in the top of the turbine. We got straight one. Straight one's gonna go on here once we drill this and tap it. So let's do this, it'll be fun. We're almost through. We're through. Now we're gonna tap it. Tappa tappa. All right, that turned out really good, and it took us about 5 minutes. But now the most important thing is, oh yeah. And it even tightens up. Excellent, I like that. That was simple. the song of my people, Caucasians. We need to hook this oil turn line up, so we need to take this oil pan off. So to start, we're going to dump the oil out. So to start, don't drop the drain plug. So to start, you let the oil drain out and you just watch it. Why is it making funny noises?
The things we gotta do to make a video 10 minutes long to get that ad revenue.
Now I need to undo all these 10 mils. I'm gonna have to take this bracket back off again for the oil feed line, and that starter cover has to come off. So I'm gonna put this drain plug back in a few threads for now, just so it stops ripping on me. Ta-da! Remember kids, measure twice, so you only have to drill once. Now hopefully this $40 tap works. Do you want all that in your motor? I didn't think so. So we need a vacuum source for our blow-off valve. So on these LS factory intakes, the easiest place to get the vacuum reference for your blow-off valve is right there. You break this little tab off and it makes a little hole in there that's about 1/8 of an inch, and I'll poke this intake on the truck and show you. So all I did was I broke the little end off, and now you can stick a screwdriver in. So that's the easiest vacuum source you will ever get on an LS intake. Leave it to GM to make things easy for us.
Who's gonna go bankrupt first, Ford or GM this time?
Excellent, just like that. So that was the easiest part of this whole build so far. I think it's pretty awesome. Hopefully all the research I did is correct and you're allowed to tee these, the wastegate and the blow-off valve together. I've never done this before, so I don't know. For sure the blow-off valve will be good how it is. I might have to get a reference before the throttle body for the wastegate, but we'll find out. All right, so we're back and we're moving forward. So I bought this AM air-fuel ratio gauge, and we already have a bung in the downpipe. If you don't have a bung, you'll have to just weld yours on real quick. So we're gonna put the sensor in, plug the harnesses in. We need to supply power and ground for the gauge to light up, and then our gauge is ready to roll. So we're gonna do that real quick, and then hopefully the truck will fire up. All right, so we had a data communication issue, and we were chasing it down for way too long, and I got fed up with it. So I figured out, with the help of Google and also service information for telling me which wires to hook where, I made this bench harness. So all it requires now is power and ground on a battery, and you can plug in your programmer and flash the ECU. So it's pretty simple, and if a lot of you guys are actually interested, I could show you how to make one. But basically, there's not that much to it if you kind of understand how electrical and data communication works, which I kind of somewhat understand because I went to school for it, but most people can't just jump into it. Anyways, this is pretty simple. I've got this ECU flashed to a speed density 2-bar operating system in there. I've put in 80-pound injector flow rates so that way it doesn't flood out as soon as it fires up, because we put the decapped flex fuel injectors in there. And we're gonna put this ECU, or PCM as GM calls it, in the truck and make sure our air fuel gauge is all ready to rip. Then we will try to fire it up. So remember we put that Walbro in there? Yeah, this is our new fuel pump. Gotta fill the tank up. I'm trying to get all the air out of the fuel system.
What I normally do is just crank it while someone sprays ether and it ends up priming itself. Full send.
So I just used my HP tuners and my standalone harness because the data line in the truck is still not good, and I deleted the VATs from needing it to not needing it. So now let's see if it was a security issue. All right, so the truck's together now, but it won't start because we have a fuel problem or a tuning problem or something. So come back next time and we will figure it out.